welcome back to part 2 of our adoption Q&A. That's what this is called.
So I'm gonna go ahead and read this question again because I don't know how much we answered in the last one. But it says, where do you guys meet up for visits? I'm a new birth mom and I'm trying to figure that out. So go ahead.
No, go ahead.
We traveled to the birth state last December, and then I went back up in January. Yeah, January.
Yeah.
And then I think that they're actually coming here in March. So I don't know if we will end up going back up at the end of next year, because we didn't really do a visit this year because we, again, all had babies and didn't expect for that to happen.
Right.
So we had planned to go at the end of this year like we went at the end of last year, but.
Right.
So yeah, we go to each other's houses. I don't know if they will stay here. It will depend on how many of them come and if we have room.
Right.
But we're really open and like over the time have built up trust to like, we know where each other lives. We, you know, it's just, haven't hidden anything, I guess.
Right. And it's not an issue for, like, there's trust there that we don't care for that to happen. But if you don't have that relationship, you know, fun
meeting
spots
somewhere in the middle would be nice.
Fun spots in the middle, like if there's something you like as a family, I guess.
Yeah, right.
Just something that you would share interest in, meet there and kind of do that, because it's also icebreaker for what can be an awkward situation.
Right.
So that
eating is always a good idea.
Yeah, food. Yeah.
It's always good. I would just encourage, I feel like as adoptive parents, it has always felt like we put it on us to make the effort to go. So like either we would pay for them to come here or we would go to them. It is nice to be in a situation where they are willing to make the effort and excited to make the effort to come here.
Right.
But if they didn't, then we would go there.
Right.
Every time.
Yeah.
And I don't know, I miss being, it's almost been a year since I was there. It's been a year now since everybody was there. And
we just have a really good relationship.
Yeah, I miss being there. Like I was there for so long before Ellie was born. And so there's like food places that I miss. And it's just, I don't know, it's just a second home.
Right.
To us.
And it's also, we like going there because where they're at it's cold and it's...
Right, it's not cold here.
This question says, how often do you see birth mom and what does your daughter call her? We've kind of already touched on how often we see them, so I won't go there again. But
she doesn't call them anything
really
right now.
call
She's
them
not
anything
really
yet.
talking.
But we did have that conversation with them right after she was born, and that thought process is kind of carried out. And the birth mom actually chose that she wanted to be called auntie and uncle.
We call them that. We call them just their names most of the time. But it won't ever be like a confusing thing of, are they my aunt and uncle? Like she will always know that they're her birth parents. That's what they asked for us to call them.
Right.
I think that it may evolve as Ellie starts talking. I would love for her to just pick what she wants to call them.
Right.
Maybe that's a conversation that she can have with them. Maybe she'll just come up with something cute as she's learning to talk that she'll call them.
And I mean, even on that subject, I don't think we're really against anything.
Right.
So
there's a lot of people who call them mama whatever. That was never something that they wanted. Right. Because we always, like, through our adoption journeys, that's what we always did. We would call, you know, mama whatever, initial normally, because we don't say their name for privacy reasons, obviously. But yeah. Someone asked, how much money should one have put aside for when they are ready? Do you regret open adoption? Number one, no, we do not regret open adoption one bit. How much money? I'd say $30,000 to $40,000. Like real in just realistic honesty. Right. Maybe, yeah, I'd say 30 to 40. Maybe on the 40 side, just so that you're really ready. It was hard for us with the place that we matched with Ellie's birth mom to not be able to afford some situations, which is fine. We know that we are in the situation that we were meant to be in. But if you had a really low budget, I can imagine it would be really frustrating when you're just so ready and you just want to be able to say yes to every situation you feel comfortable with, but the money is holding you back.
And another thing, just in case you're considering adoption but you haven't thought everything through, the money that is for the adoption does not also include your travel and eating and hotel and everything, so you need to make sure that you also have like a discretionary budget for that when you travel, especially if you're adopting from a state that does not do ICPC quickly. You could be there 3 weeks, 4 weeks, so you need to be able to stay lodged and eat and stay sane by doing things, so you also want to have that kind of a buffer budget as well.
That's a good tip.
Quick question that someone else asked was, how often do you guys talk? We have an open adoption, just trying to figure out what's right. Again, we text almost daily, at least multiple times a week, probably a couple of phone calls a week, and maybe a FaceTime or two. A FaceTime is like every couple of weeks now at this point. At the beginning, it was every single day. And that's just kind of what they needed. And there were sometimes that it was hard, and we were open about it being hard sometimes. Just like having a newborn is just a lot. And she needed pictures every day for the first few weeks, and it felt like a lot, but in the reality of it, it's like you snap a picture and you hit send. It's not that hard. So that's kind of like referring back to saying, like, just being open to what everybody needs, and if there's an easy fix, if they're having a hard time and sending a picture every day helps, then send the dang picture. It's not that big of a deal. And I know that's a lot coming from us now, 18 months and having a very like sturdy foundation in our relationship with them. Do you find it harder to have an open adoption than you originally thought? I don't know that we had really any expectations going into it, so there wasn't that original thought. We had a foundational knowledge of what an open adoption was, but not a picture of what we wanted ours to look like. So that's one thing that I would recommend is, if you're considering open adoption, don't, again, like we said in part 1, don't make it a rigid plan. It needs to be a fluid plan. You're going to have to give when they need something, and they're going to have to give when you need something. And you need to be able to have that trust and that bond to know that it will all be okay through it.
Someone asked, just like in general, what open adoption is. And
that would be a good question to answer.
Open adoption is just having a relationship with the child's first family. There is no textbook open adoption. There's no textbook closed adoption. It can be anywhere from completely wide open all the way to completely closed, and every single thing in between. And so you just kind of have to work as a group on like what makes the most sense for everyone, what everybody wants, and be willing to change that, because there were a couple of our matches Ellie's match started off completely closed, no communication. They didn't want anything, and now look at where we're at. So you have to be willing to bend and, like Derek said, be completely fluid with kind of your expectations and what you're willing to give. And also, don't ever promise anything that you're not willing to back up. Ellie's birth mom has been involved in a lot of different adoptions, and like not her placing children, but just like knowing people who are placing their children for adoption. And it seems to be a common theme is that adoptive parents, when the expectant mom is pregnant and you're just willing to promise the moon and the stars to her because you're hoping that she will pick you to, place her baby with you. And then all of a sudden the baby's born and papers are signed and all of that goes away. And it's just, don't promise things that you're not willing to back up. Don't say the words unless you are willing to 150% act on those words.
It's kind of like even the like philosophy you use at work. Don't overpromise and underdeliver. Underpromise and overdeliver. So baseline needs to be what you truly are comfortable with, and then if you're
Right.
willing to go above that, then
go above it.
then go above it. But don't say, oh yeah, I'm going to come to you every 3 months and I'm going to send a picture every day, and while you're saying this you're thinking to yourself, there's no way in hell I'm doing that.
Right.
So
It's true. And it is easy to promise things when you have empty arms and you just want a baby so badly, and you've been on this road for so long and you're just ready for it to be over. But things change when you have a baby with you, and you know, those newborn days are hard. And if you are also then, you know, dealing with why haven't I got a picture today? Why are you guys coming to visit in 3 months? Or like, that's a lot
Right.
to deal with. So you got, plus just what they're dealing with on top of that. You just wanted to say hi. Oh, this video is not about you. No, it's not. But as you can just see literally the top of his little bald head. But yeah, I think that about wraps it up. Hopefully we answered all of you guys' questions. I tried to obviously not re-answer ones. A lot of you guys asked the same kind of question. But if you ever have any additional questions, you can leave them in the comments down below. Maybe we'll do another Q&A if you guys have different things that you want answered. You can always send us a DM on Instagram. I'm trying to get better about answering DMs in that other folder. Or you can just follow us on Instagram and ask a question in the comments there. But we will see you guys on whatever the next video is. Monday, Wednesday, Friday. But we love you guys and we'll see you later. Bye. Bye.